Greetings, planty people, and welcome back to my jungle. Ooh. Okay, so today's video is going to be all about propagations that I'm currently growing or that have grown big. So it's a bit of a mishmash. I think most of these have established enough for me to class it as a plant, because usually I don't class my propagations because there's so many of just random sticks in jars. I just kind of ignore them till they grow, and then once they've rooted, then I kind of count it in my collection. Then again, I've stopped counting after about 200. Let me know how many plants you've got so I can feel better about myself. Anyway, if you do hear an abundance of bird sounds, this is really random, but there's been a massive flock of jackdaws, they're a bit like a crow, that have just been circling the area, landing on the roof, being extremely loud, waking me up in the morning. There's not really much I can do about that. One was on my window this morning above my bed and I was like, ah! So yes, do ignore that if you can. And there's also some very, very noisy sheep around, so let's get into the video. Recently, I've been really into propagating plants because I've been trying to kind of start again with a few plants. I'll give you some examples shortly. Some of these I don't think I've even shown on here because I've got my propagation station behind you and there's just so many random things in pots and jars. It looks very messy. Even though I've organised it a few times, it just looks a bit duh. And then behind there's a little box of half dead plants that I'm waiting to see if they want to live, so I thought I'd show you some of the nicer looking ones. Shall we go with one that I recently showed on my TikTok because I accidentally snapped it. So a while ago I found a really cool Singonium on eBay. I've shown it many times on here as well, but I knocked it over and I snapped it. So I'd already previously propagated it in water. Took a little while, but it rooted very easily, very nicely. I was getting really happy. I had a few leaves on it. I was like, yes, it's established. I can grow it massive now, see how big I can grow it, see if I can grow it as big as my Chia Pensy, which is that one there, which is, it's also getting rather big. But this one, so this is the Singonium Staymari. So I snapped it accidentally in a way. So it was previously in this one, in this Manic Panic hair dye tub that I turned into pots, because why not? It's cool. Reuse, reduce, recycle. So I snapped it, do you see there? That's where it snapped, and I was like, I think I made like an audible whale sound. I was like, but I was like, don't panic. This is a very easy propagatable plant. Luckily, this is growing very nicely. I've kept it under my grow light. So we've got this lovely stem, got a new leaf. She's a little bit wonky, but that tends to happen sometimes when you've caused a bit of trauma on your plant. And there's a few little bits coming out. So that's a nice little surprise. And the other half, which was the stalk bit, I rooted in water for a little bit, and look, we've got success. It's recently just put this leaf out. I don't want to break it because she's still a bit soft, but I'm super happy that it's managed to recover. Eventually, when it's big enough, maybe I'll put them together. I don't know, we'll see. To be fair, some of these I'll probably save for a swap once they're big enough, because some of these are a bit more quirky. I've been trying to get more, not necessarily rare, just something a bit different. I like a little bit of a different plant every so often, do you know what I mean? I've noticed that a lot more people are starting to clue onto this plant. It's very easy. It's one of those Singoniums that's a bit like a Filerendrin, like the, what's it called? Tri-leaf wonder. I also grew this one from a propagation because it had really bad, was it thrips a few years back? Should we go for a Filerendrin? You know I like a Filerendrin. So this one, I actually can't remember who I got it from. I can't remember. I know it was like a swap and it was ages ago and it didn't root for ages. I just had it in water, kept changing the water. I was like, come on. You know, and the roots go a bit grimy. I was a bit like, ugh. But eventually it shot out a massive white root and here we are. So this is the Philodendron White Princess. Yeah, so it took me a while to be able to identify the difference between White Wizard, White Knight, and White Princess. And White Princess, you'll see these tiny little lines of pink, and every so often the pink will appear through variegation. I don't think it's happened yet, but it seems to be in the stalky bits. This probably needs a water, it's a bit dry. But I just kind of left this one be for a bit, finally potted it up, and it seems to be growing rather nicely. It's been having some indirect light and it seems to be living there. It did have a leaf that got a bit stuck, but I mean that happens time to time. It's very hard for me to resist to try and like grab it out, but I don't want to damage it anymore. But this one unfortunately didn't make it, but we have a new leaf there. So, and another philodendron. This one's really cool. I think I showed it in a few videos back. So I did a joint import with some of my planty peeps on Instagram, and if you know, you know. So this is Miss Strawberry Shake. Isn't she gorgeous? So I had a bit of a tricky time with propagating this one because I had it auto propagating for a bit, and I was like, right, the roots are big enough, I can pop it in some moss. And then I went on holiday and it was absolutely baking here and it dried up, and all those healthy roots dried up too. So I was like, no, what am I gonna do? This is quite an expensive plant. This is probably like one of the rarest plants I have in my collection. So I was a bit stressed actually. So I popped it back in water and it threw out loads of pink roots. I like how the roots are pink. And yeah, I potted it up in a directions hair dye pot. I like these because they're clear, so we can keep an eye on the roots. This is probably geowater as well, but such a cool plant. Each leaf is completely different. It's a bit like Painted Lady, but different. Do you know what I mean? So you've got more like marble instead of like the splash effect. And every so often you'll get some pink in there. There's some pink on the back. Lovely like kind of dark pink stems. And if you stress it out with light, you'll get some bubblegum pink, which is my goal. So we'll see how that goes. I'll do an update in a few months to see how she's going. But yeah, I'm glad that she recovered. Don't worry, there are ways around. I think I chopped another piece off that's in water somewhere as a backup. So we'll see how that goes. That's just beautiful. Can't wait to have this like properly in the background somewhere. At the moment, she just lives with my other propagations. I'd wanted one of those for the longest time, but I thought it was always going to be kind of out of reach due to the price point. So I'm very lucky that I managed to do a joint import with some of my planty peeps. We've got to stick together, guys. Okay, should we go for something a bit quirky? Yeah, we'll go for something quirky. So I found a really good deal. I think it was it Etsy? Yeah, so I follow a lot of plant shops on there, and every so often they'll just throw something completely different and really cheap. Now I can't remember how much I got this on for. I think it was about a £5, to be honest with you, which I was a little bit like, is this real? Is this a good price for this? Did some Googling, it was a very, very good price for it. So this is the variegated aidrium medium silver. Now that's a mouthful. And I've currently just got it in a mixture of so many things. There's moss and perlite, there's a little bit of fluval stratum in there as well, stratum, however you want to pronounce it. And I rooted it, I think it just came in a bag of moss. So I was like, okay, if she likes the moss, we'll leave her be. And then I just added some more ingredients to upsize it. And it's loving it. It's loving it. Like, look at this. This is maybe a little bit too much variegation. I might have to move it a little bit away from my grow light, but isn't that absolutely stunning? Like, can you imagine how this is going to look when it has the proper mature shape leaf? But while it was doing its thing, it took a while, not going to lie to you. I had it in a bag like this to keep the moisture in, because moss can dry out pretty quickly, especially when we're having a UK heat wave, which is going to happen next week, and I'm not looking forward to it. So eventually when this is bigger, I'm definitely going to chop some pieces off, pass them around, because it's such a quirky plant. I got it for a good price, so why not share? Why not share? Sharing is caring. I did previously have, which one was it? Just the normal version, I think it was, and I think I've tried it twice. I had a cutting of Sophie that just disappeared. I don't know what happened to that one. And I did have a little baby that I think I got from Plants for All Seasons before they went a bit naff a while ago. Yeah, that didn't survive either. Do people still buy from Plants for All Seasons? Because every time I have a little sneaky look, I'm like, I'm so disappointed. They used to be so good. I don't know what's happened with it. Let me know what you think. Oh, I can hear the birds. The birds are coming, guys. Okay, so we're going to go for something completely different to everything I've showed previously. Ping! Spilt water everywhere. Ping! This is a little tiny baby pinguicola. It's either a Tina or a Wezzer. I can't remember. So I got two so long ago. Actually really proud that I've kept them alive, because some carnivorous plants can be a little bit tedious and a bit tricky. I'm looking at you, Venus flytraps. Got one on my arm. I did a load of research on these guys and basically just keep them wet in some mossy, mulchy water, and they seem to love it. Like this just randomly grew out the side. I planted it. They have the world's tiniest roots and it just took really well. I keep them all in my bathroom because it's nice and humid in there, because I love a bath. So they love it too. The other two have flowered multiple times. One was like a purple, one was more like a pinky purple. So I don't know how long it'll take for this one. I keep spilling the water everywhere. I'm gonna have to need to top that up. Yeah, so we'll see if this one flowers. Probably take a few years because it's only a weird baby. But I've just noticed how big it's gotten. So this is just in one of those little candle holders. I like to put my plants in random vessels just to see what will happen. There you go. If you've got a candle holder that you don't use, go for it. And a little tip, if you've got a really nice candle that you've used up and you like the glass of it, if you just put it in some hot water and melt all the wax out. Sometimes I'm lazy and I just pick it out with a knife, but that's a little bit less glamorous. You can keep the pot and it's really cool. Like I had a really cool pumpkin one somewhere. I don't know where that's gone. But yeah, candle holders, excellent plant pot. But the reason why I love this one so much, they eat tiny flies. You see those tiny specks? So if you have a bit of an issue with spider mites, not spider mites, fungus gnats, wrong pest, get yourself a few pings. I feel like they're the easiest out of all the carnivorous plants, and they get attracted to the little sticky leaves and they're like, yum, 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 and then the plant eats them. I really want to try, I don't know if you guys have seen Fern's pingdom. Excellent word. She has like a big lava rock with all little babies on there. Oh, I'll have to do that in the future. Let me know if you want to see that. I'll have to do some research and get some little babbies. Okay, next one. I'll show you a slightly bigger one that I have shown before, but she's super cool and I'm a big fan of her. Now, it's no secret that I am a Singonium fan. Look at Miss Girl. Look at Miss Girl. Now, if you've watched me for a bit, you'll have known how big this has gotten recently. It started as like a 2-leaf little cutting that I just had near my windowsill, left it alone, watered it every so often, and all of a sudden it was like, whoa. So I've recently repotted it in one of my videos, and the roots are looking marvellous. Look at all that rootage. Oh, there's a little spider. Hello. I'll pop you on my plants because you eat bugs. There you go. Is it gone? Yeah. So this is just an Singonium albo, just your classic one. Super cool. I love the shape of the leaves, but I like how each leaf is very different. I think I got this from the Birmingham plant swap the first time. It took a while for it to establish. I literally received it in just like a glass jar of a few cuttings with some moss on the free table. So I was like, let's give it a go. And here we are. Yes, I will upgrade it to a proper moss pole. This is currently 2 sticks taped together because I'm a little bit DIY with my plant supplies. It seems to love it though. Seems to love it. Can't wait to grow it all the way to the ceiling. I mean, there's not much ceiling in here, as you can tell. But there's a lovely new leaf here. Might need to up the lighting on it though, because I've moved it recently. I have to have it here now because it's too tall. And I keep it in this lovely little pot that I got from Tiger. Big fan. Now, if you want to talk about big plants, let me show you one. Let me show you one that I propagated. Here you are. Here's Skeletor. This is my monstera, esquealito. Still don't know how to pronounce her. So this did used to have a humongous leaf. It was bigger than my face, and I've got a big face. So I got this from the Birmingham plant swap the second time, and it was a raffle, and I won it. I never win anything. I think that's the first time I've won something, and honestly, best day of my life. I was a bit like looking at my raffle ticket. I was like, no, surely not. And it was me. So me and Lottie were like, ooh, ooh. It came in a big bag of moss. And I was a bit like, oh, okay, do I keep it in the moss for a bit? Do I put it in water? So what I did is, as soon as I got it home, I had a look at its roots. It had some, but it wasn't like massively established. And I just kept it in a pot of moss for a bit. And then once the roots were kind of chill and it acclimated to my room's ambiance, and I planted it and it got massive really quickly. I did have to chop this leaf off though because it was a little bit skew-iff, but that's okay. I'm thinking of propagating this again anyway, maybe this bit, I don't know, we'll see. But I'm a big fan of this one. It's just like a massive adansonii, and it's also velvety. Yeah, probably needs a repot soon, but I'm a little bit scared too because it's, yeah, there's some lovely roots at the bottom there, so we'll see in a few weeks if I need to do anything with it. But I'm just obsessed with it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Might propagate it to make it bushier instead of taller. We'll see how that goes. And again, I do want to see how big its leaves can get, because the leaf that it came with was absolutely massive. It was probably a foot big. Like, anyway, I've got 2 more to show you. I do have a few around, but a few are in quarantine because I'm dealing with spider mites at the moment, like we all are. And as you probably know, Miss Verrucosum, is the reason why. So, okay, which one shall we do? Yeah, we're gonna go for this one. Oh, I love this plant so much. This was another random late night eBay. Why can't I talk? This was another late night eBay find that I was a bit like, this is too good to be true, because it was literally like a £5 for a cutting. Now, if you don't know already, this is the variegated Filerendrin scandens, and I've been looking for one of these for a very long time because I have the normal, but of course I want to take it to the next level and get something a bit different. Look at that. Each leaf is different and it's gorgeous and I love her so much. So I'll definitely be swapping some of this maybe in the future, we'll see. Yeah, I'd say that's long enough. Now, this cutting from eBay, £5, bargain, took the longest time to root. I don't usually have an issue with the normal version, so maybe she was just a bit stubborn from being shipped and she was having a bit of a strop, which, you know what, I'd have a strop too, but she rooted eventually and it was so exciting. I was like, wee! I was showing everyone and everyone was like, slay, 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 and I was like, woo! And recently it's just been absolutely loving life. Like, it's been giving me like a new leaf every week, which is amazing. Like, excellent job. And there is another little shoot there, so I'm definitely going to be chopping some of this off soon. I'm a little bit like, I don't want to, but I want to. I want to share her with the world. She's just beautiful. Now, one I really want to get that I haven't found a good price for yet is the variegated micans, because I really get on with the Filerendrin micans. I love her. I've got a really big one on a pole here, do you see? I think I've shown her off a few times. She's just getting massive. She's growing all the way up there. I've had to get these little stick-on. You see these little sticky things? I've got them all the way around my room, which is ridiculous. So I really want to get the variegated one, but I've heard they can be a little bit finicky. So we'll see. I think there's 2 different kinds. There's the halo one where it's like around the edge. And then there's like the normal one, so I don't know. But the variegation's like pink and orange and it's like... And last but not least, a plant that everyone hates. Which is fine. Everyone has their opinions. And most of you know what I agree with. It does look like cooked spinach. She is rather gross looking. It is, you know, a mutated epiprenum at the end of the day, but I love it. I think it's so weird looking. So I also got this from a plant swap. Are you surprised? If you want propagations, find a plant swap, I'm telling you. And it's also really good to get rid of some plants that maybe you're not feeling anymore or you just want to share. And I can't remember what I swapped with this lady. What did I give her? I don't know, it was something cool. And she was like, yeah, no one really wants these. And I was like, I'm willing to try. So this is the epiprenum shangrila, and each leaf doesn't really open properly. Some of them are a bit more swirly. I think this is the most open leaf that I have. Now, it did take a while to root. I don't know why. Usually epiprenum, they root at the drop of a hat. But this one took its sweet time and it's finally starting to get big. Probably needs a repot soon. Should we have a look? Oh no, she needs a repot. She's really in there. It's just such an interesting approach. I just really like it. I keep it with all my spooky oddities around the corner. So it's like, ugh. It's like a little creepy hand. Ugh. I just like it. I just like it. I think I'd say 9 people out of 10 don't like it. And I'm the 1%. Let me know if you're the 1% too. You know what? We're going to do one more because I like you. We'll do one more. Da 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 da! Ta-da! This absolute beauty has been doing my head in. So if you didn't know already, this is the variegated monstera and soni, the Aurea version. So instead of it being like a white cream, it's like yellowy green. That was a rhyme. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So I got this from a garden centre reduced because no one wanted it, because no one, well, the price tag was ridiculous. It was like 80 quid. So I think I got it for 20. I chopped some pieces off. I don't know where they've ended. I'll probably pop some in there. There was some reverted pieces in there. But it came with this leaf and this leaf, right? So it was quite small and it grew some more foliage and I was like, that's not variegated, even though it had plenty of light, like a really bright indirect light bordering on full sun. It was back there, it's like a little sun catcher in there. And it gave me no variegation. I was a bit like, wah, I'm gonna chop you up. So I propagated the reverted bit, grew it in a little pot. I think I gave some to Alina. So Alina, let me know if it's done anything. Curious. But then recently it gave me this bit. Ignore that. I burnt it with the grow light when I was moving it around. I don't know what this one's going to be because it's kind of Polaroid variegation. You can't really see until the plant hardens off a little bit. This one came through just dark green and then that just appeared out of nowhere, so we'll see what happens. And once it's bigger, I'm definitely gonna share some of this one because it's fun, it's cute, it's quirky, I like how different it is, and because it's monstera and soni, super easy. I get on with it. Just water every like 2 weeks. That's it. Bright indirect light, bish bash bosh. Hello. So yeah, I think that concludes my collection. I do have some more like little ratty pieces back there, but they're not quite ready to be shown off yet. So maybe I'll do a part 2 soon because I do have lots of plants just everywhere and I forget what I have sometimes. Let me know if you're the same. So I'll leave all my social medias down below. Let me know what plants you've grown from a cutting or a seedling, whatever it may be, a little stump. I love growing plants, especially if it's like a reduced plant. I want to see what I can do with it. So yeah, let me know down below and I'll see you in the next one. Have a lovely day, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Bye. Tot ziens.